Sometimes I can't stand myself. Luckily, I've found ways to get back from the abyss. Today, I'll talk about how I do that. My name is Hannes, and welcome to Trainerds. Huge thanks to Joel for joining the Trainerds Patreon. You are awesome. Now, I don't want this video to be too much of a pity party. Everyone feels down now and then. But I want to share my views on it and how I've gotten myself out of some of the worst periods of my life. Perhaps it can help someone, and then it's worth it. As you probably can tell from the intro, this past week hasn't been the best. I felt down and also got a pointless cold in the middle of it. A couple of years ago, these thoughts would have had me spiraling down into true depression and have me staying there for long periods of time. Now, I have a much better way of coping with these situations. Let's go back in time to better understand what I'm talking about. I've always been the big guy, even when I was younger and doing lots of sports. Bullied for it, yet being quite popular, since I was a funny, happy-go-lucky kind of guy. The classic make fun of yourself before anyone else does truly applied to me. I didn't have the looks to be popular, so I better be funny and always breaking my back trying to help everyone, since I was terrified of letting people down. They didn't like me for who I really was, so I needed to be an exaggerated version. This has been with me my entire life. I won't go into too much detail, but the gist of it is, I don't deserve to be happy since I'm a piece of shit. That's what I told myself when I was younger, and that mindset stays with you. I am a people pleaser. Big time. I can easily give all my energy into someone else's life or project, but not on myself, because I'm flawed. So imagine how it goes when someone who has no real self-worth starts working in a creative line of work. Yeah, I'm gonna go 100% into that role. Perhaps I can shape a new version of myself. So for 10 years or so, all I thought about, all I did was working. Doing my own projects to get affirmation and to hear that I'm talented. I worked with a bunch of talented people, having no problem diving deep into these different projects. I had no quality time for relationships, i.e. partners, friends or family. I really had no time for my own health. I felt as I didn't deserve that, remember? So what happens when all your waking hours is dedicated to one thing? In my case, work. Doing work, thinking about work, and all of a sudden, that gets pulled from underneath you. When I didn't have my work, my identity was gone. I had nothing else to focus on. The one thing I thought gave me worth was suddenly not there anymore. This was about 5 or 6 years ago. I got so depressed that I just stayed in my bed for entire days. After a couple of months, I started going to the gym. Not really training, just showing up, doing something. I couldn't muster getting back to work. I had failed with the only thing that gave me worth in my mind. It took me over a year to start doing some small creative work. What I had been doing that year though was getting in exercising regularly and work more on my relationships. Getting it in my head that work is really not that important. It's certainly not so important that you should dedicate 100% of your life to it. So what did I learn from these last couple of years? It seems easy and we all know it, but it can be really difficult upholding. Balance. I see my life as these 3 pillars: health, relationships, and work. In my past, I have gone in 100% on one pillar at a time, but when one of the pillars fall, and they will from time to time, I had nothing to lean against. So today I really try to keep these not equally balanced, because that's impossible. Life will happen, and at sometimes relationships take more time or health takes more time, but I'm making sure not all effort is put into one place. That's when it can be dangerous for me. And this last week is a prime example of how I can tackle these situations better nowadays. At the end of last week, I got hit by a small identity crisis, work-wise. The whole imposter syndrome, who do you think you are kind of deal. My nature is to fall back into, well, I don't deserve happiness since I'm a piece of shit from my teenage years. But what I have today is tools how to handle that. I don't get panic attacks anymore. I know I will feel down for a couple of days, but I will get back to my training. My mind will get reset in the gym, endorphins will be pumping. It's all funny how it works. When my mind starts spinning out of control, it's almost as the body launches a counter-offensive and starts telling me it needs to work out. I get restless and it won't settle until I work out. And after a couple of days, finally the brain and body is at peace with one another. I don't get scared anymore. I know how to deal with the panic. Still, let's take a look at the past week and see if we can find some highlights. As I was a bit down and struck with a stupid, pointless cold, I've been resting. The days I felt better, I went out on some slow walks. And I want to thank you guys. The fact that you stepped up and joined the new step challenge meant a lot to me. Seeing you guys going out and getting your streaks, talking to each other on Discord and keeping the flame alive even when I'm not around brought me so much joy. This little community is turning into something beautiful and it's all thanks to you. We even got a greeting from a celebrity this week.
Hello Trainerds. I hope you're enjoying the scenic views of your walks. I know Wilson sure is.
Yesterday I did get to do my comeback in the gym. I was giddy the whole day and couldn't wait. The extra days of forced resting only did wonders. I felt really strong. So I loaded up 140 kilos and that just flew up. So I decided to try 150, which I failed a couple of weeks ago. And that just flew up as well. So why not go for the all-time record, 157.5. I was a little bit too tired and I accidentally hit the rack. But I know a good day and with the technique spot on, I got this. I also beat my record in push-ups. Last time I tried I did 15, but this time around I did 17. Oh yeah. And I'm continuing with my CrossFit pull-ups, and with CrossFit pull-ups I mean no focus on technique. This time around I barely aided anything with my feet. Take a look here, the chin is over the bar. I'm getting there. After a rough couple of days, it feels good knowing I can stop the oncoming depression before it's spiraling out of control. My mental health is something I really have started taking seriously the last couple of years. And what good are bulging biceps if our brains are all in shambles? My identity is not being the funny, creative yes man whose only worth is his work. My identity today is being Hannes and doing what I love. And that truly is talking to you guys, working out, hoping to be a positive force out there for someone, spending time with my partner, family, and friends. So, closing thoughts. Try to keep the things in life that matters to you balanced. Don't let something take all your time for too long. Speaking of things that matter, something that matters a lot to me is talking to you guys. The biggest of thanks goes out to my wonderful patrons. Every new Patreon member means I can spend more time doing Trainerds content, which is my big dream. Tomorrow there will be a new stream, so it's a perfect time to join. Thanks to the wonderful community, especially over on Discord. And I urge you, if you have some tough times and want someone to talk to, join our Discord. You can talk publicly, or if you want to, you can send me a private DM. You're all welcome here on Trainerds. And remember this, we're all awesome. Ooh, yeah!